Hey everyone, welcome back to Animal Prime, your go-to destination for the wild, the wonderful, and the downright mind-blowing corners of the natural world. Whether you're tuning in with your kids, relaxing after work, or just love marveling at the animals that share our planet, you're in for something truly extraordinary today. Today we're diving into the dazzling, surprising, and downright unbelievable world of chickens. Yes, chickens, but not the ones you're used to seeing scratching around the backyard or sizzling in a skillet. We're talking about walking masterpieces, living legends, and avian oddities that break every stereotype you thought you knew about these humble birds. Which chicken looks like it just walked off a fantasy movie set? Which one is jet black, inside and out? And which breed struts around like it knows it descended from royalty? Stick around, because the deeper we go, the wilder it gets. Let's start with a breed that has stunned scientists, collectors, and breeders across the globe. First up, Ayam Cemani, nicknamed the Black Phantom of the Coop. At first glance, it almost doesn't seem real. This Indonesian breed isn't just dark, it's entirely black. Jet black feathers shimmer with a greenish-purple sheen under sunlight, like oil on water. But that's only the beginning. Its skin, black. Its tongue, black. Even its bones and internal organs are cloaked in ink. This eerie phenomenon comes from a rare genetic condition called fibromelanosis, which causes excessive pigmentation. But what truly elevates the Cemani to legendary status is its spiritual significance. In Indonesia, it's been revered for centuries, believed to bring power, fortune, and even to be a link to the spirit world. Oh, and one more thing, a single purebred Ayam Cemani can sell for up to $2,500. That's not a chicken, that's a black diamond with feathers. Now let's flip the mood completely. Meet the Silkie, affectionately called the walking cotton ball. Everything about the Silkie feels like it stepped out of a children's book. Its soft, fluffy feathers don't feel like typical bird plumage. They feel like fur, almost like a rabbit in disguise. But don't be fooled by the fluff. Beneath all that puff lies jet black skin and bluish flesh, a trait that links it to ancient Asian breeds. With 5 toes instead of the usual 4, black bones, and a sweet, almost puppy-like temperament. Silkies are adored by families and are gentle enough for toddlers to cuddle. Watching one of these little floofs waddle across the lawn feels like watching a cloud take a walk. And yes, they're fantastic mothers too. From fluff to flair, behold the Onagadori, the skyfall tail of Japan. Imagine a rooster with a tail longer than your car. We're talking over 30 feet long in some cases. The Onagadori, whose name literally means honorable fowl, is Japan's pride, bred over centuries to develop long, flowing tail feathers that never molt. That's right, they just keep growing. These birds were once reserved for nobility. Their caretakers meticulously comb their tail feathers daily, sometimes hanging them inside tall towers so the plumes won't drag on the ground. Seeing one walk is like watching a parade float glide through a garden, regal, serene, and utterly mesmerizing. But what if chickens had hairstyles? Enter the Polish chicken, aka the Pom-Pom Prince. This breed sports an outrageously large feather crest on its head, so big in fact, it often obscures its vision. It looks like it's wearing a powdered wig, or maybe attending a masquerade ball. Available in multiple color varieties, from gold lace to silver, each Polish chicken seems to have its own fashion statement. They've been around for centuries, appearing in European art as early as the 1600s. And while they're not always the most aware of their surroundings, you try navigating with bangs in your eyes. They're charming, quirky, and definitely scene stealers. Let's shift to something massive. Meet the Brahma, often called the gentle giant. Standing up to 30 inches tall and weighing more than 13 pounds, Brahmas are among the largest chicken breeds in the world. But don't let the size fool you. These big birds are calm, patient, and surprisingly elegant. With feathered legs, a smooth gait, and an imposing silhouette, Brahmas look like they belong in a fantasy epic. In the 1800s, they were considered the ultimate meat bird, but today they're more of a backyard showstopper, loved for their personality and photogenic presence. Now for something delightfully weird, the Frizzle, the feather tornado. This breed doesn't just grow feathers, it grows curling, spiraling, outward-pointing feathers that give it the look of being caught in a perpetual breeze. It's like a chicken got zapped in a cartoon lightning strike, in the best way. Frizzle isn't a breed so much as a feather type, which can appear in several breeds. But when it does, you know. The result is a goofy, endearing ball of kinetic energy that draws smiles wherever it goes. Time to downsize but level up on elegance. Say hello to the Sebright, the laced jewel. One of the few true bantam breeds, meaning it has no large counterpart. The Sebright is tiny, often under 2 pounds, but don't underestimate it. With striking lace feathers that look like they've been hand-painted in black ink over silver or gold, it's basically a living Fabergé egg. Created in 19th century England by Sir John Sebright, this bird was bred purely for beauty, and it shows. They're bold, confident, and love strutting their stuff like they own the yard. Rising from the ashes, metaphorically speaking, is the phoenix, the tail of eternal flame. This breed gets its name not just from its beauty, but from its lineage. Descended from the Onagadori, but bred for more manageable tails. Still, their feathers gleam in metallic hues, and their long, flowing tails bring myth to life. The phoenix is agile, intelligent, and known for being a star in ornamental flocks. With every sunrise, they look like they've just stepped out of legend. From fantasy to history, let's meet the Sultan, or the Ottoman garden bird. White as snow, covered in lacy feathers, with feathered feet and a V-shaped crest, the Sultan is less farmyard and more palace pet. In fact, that's exactly what they were bred for. The gardens of Ottoman sultans, where they roamed like feathered aristocrats. They're calm, friendly, and often chosen purely for their noble appearance. A chicken that belongs in a marble courtyard. And to round out this first chapter, we have the Dong Tao, the dragon-legged chicken of Vietnam. This one is just wild. Its legs are thick, really thick, often as big around as a human wrist. Covered in scaled, knobby skin, the Dong Tao looks almost prehistoric. And it's not just about looks. It was once bred to serve as a royal delicacy for Vietnamese kings. Hard to raise, incredibly rare, and bizarrely fascinating, this is the chicken that makes even seasoned breeders do a double take. And that's just the beginning. From inky black mystics to walking snowballs and fire-tailed princes, we've only scratched the surface of the wonders waiting in the world of poultry, but the journey's far from over. In the next part, we'll meet chickens that sparkle like gemstones, survive snowstorms, and look like they stepped straight off a fashion runway. Until then, what's your favorite breed so far? Could you imagine having a 30-foot chicken tail drifting across your yard? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, if this kind of wild natural beauty fascinates you, hit that subscribe button. Because here at Animal Prime, we believe the world is wilder and more wonderful than we've ever imagined. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, there's more. Much more. Because the deeper you go into the world of chickens, the more it starts to feel like you've stumbled into a mythical aviary, where each bird is a character from a forgotten legend. Take a look at the Yokohama, often called the silk banner of the coop. This Japanese-German hybrid was designed for elegance. Its slender body, pristine white plumage, and dramatically long, soft tail feathers make it look like a living sash fluttering in slow motion. Unlike the mighty Onagadori, Yokohama tails aren't as long, but they flow with a silkiness that seems choreographed. These birds don't walk, they glide. They're not noisy or brash. They're aristocrats, content to simply exist and be admired. Next, we head to the meadows of Scandinavia to meet the Swedish flower hen, or as some breeders call it, the living wildflower. At first glance, you might think someone painted this chicken by hand. No two are exactly alike. Their plumage is a randomized bouquet of spots, streaks, and speckles in gold, black, white, red, and blue. They're living mosaics. Hardy, friendly, and impressively self-sufficient, these birds descend from old farm stock that survived in Sweden's rural villages for generations. There's something humbling about a breed that wears the chaos of nature with such grace. Like each feather tells a slightly different story. Then, as if straight from a Russian fairy tale, comes the Pavlovskaya, the Tsar's feathered crown. This ancient breed, once thought extinct, is a walking antique. It sports a wild crest of feathers on its head, a full beard, feathered legs, and plumage that often gleams with gold, bronze, or snowflake-like speckling. Back in 19th century Russia, they were a prized sight in aristocratic gardens, and today, after near total disappearance, they've made a slow, triumphant return thanks to devoted conservationists. They're tiny, yes, but every inch radiates majesty. And now for something sharp, dark, and mysterious. The La Flèche, known ominously as the devil's chicken. Don't worry, it's not evil, but it does have two V-shaped horns jutting from the top of its head, forming a sinister-looking crest unlike any other. Combined with pitch-black feathers and piercing eyes, this French breed looks like it just walked off the set of a medieval movie. But it's not all drama. La Flèche chickens are elegant, intelligent, and once graced the tables of Parisian elites. Today they're rare but slowly making a comeback among breeders who appreciate their Gothic charm. If you think that was wild, meet the Appenzeller Spitzhauben, the Alpine Mountaineer. This Swiss beauty looks like it belongs on a snow-covered peak. It has a forward-leaning crest that gives it an aerodynamic, wind-swept look like it just faced a mountain gale and loved it. Its body is compact, perfect for climbing rocky terrain, and its black and white spangled feathers shimmer like frost over granite. What's more, it's a great layer, surprisingly agile, and fiercely independent. This bird doesn't need pampering. It's a survivor, built for steep climbs and alpine storms. Then comes a tiny explosion of elegance, the Belgian Duckla, lovingly called the bearded fairy. This bantam breed is like a miniature fantasy creature. It's covered in fine feathers, even on its feet, and it sports a full beard and muffs that give its face a soft, round, almost owlish look. The male fleur variety, with its golden feathers tipped in black and white, looks like it's been dusted with jewels. Despite their size, Duckels have huge personalities. They're confident, cuddly, and absolutely adore attention. Basically, they're little lap chickens with the soul of a diva. Ready for more fringe? Here comes the Houdin, the chicken in disguise. Originally from France, this breed is instantly recognizable by its poofy head crest, puffy cheeks, and, wait for it, 5 toes. Most chickens have 4. Houdins walk with a dignified waddle, looking like they're late for the opera. They're ornamental, yes, but also productive layers and surprisingly affectionate. Their black and white mottled pattern and unique build make them look like they belong in a Renaissance painting. From France, we head to Belgium again for the Campine. The metallic lightning bolt. This breed gleams. Its feathers appear as if they've been plated in gold or silver, laced with black in a tight, perfect pattern. But it's not just beauty. Campines are energetic, curious, and constantly on the move. In fact, they were historically used as alarm birds for their alertness and loud cackles. Their tails are upright and proud, and their stance is always on high alert, like they're ready to sprint at any moment. Flashy, fast, and full of fire. Next up, Crèvecoeur, the rain cloud of Normandy. With a name that means broken heart in French, this breed carries an oddly poetic vibe. Its all-black plumage is soft and full, and its crest flows like a thundercloud over its face. Its eyes peek out through the dark like glowing embers. Once a staple in gourmet French cuisine, the Crèvecoeur nearly disappeared after both World Wars. Now it's a rare sight, but one that evokes both history and elegance. It doesn't scream for attention. It haunts you with quiet beauty. And to close out this leg of the journey, the Sumatra, the feathered duelist. Originally from the Indonesian island of Sumatra, this breed wasn't bred for eggs or meat, it was bred for grace and combat. With long, flowing tail feathers, sleek black plumage that shimmers green and blue in the sun, and an aggressive, athletic build, Sumatras once competed in ceremonial cockfights among nobility. Today, they're admired not for violence, but for their wild, regal appearance and agile movement. They're not lap chickens. They're like miniature jungle warriors who move with the precision of dancers. And still, we're not done. There are chickens yet to come with tricolored faces, frost-proof feathers, and even glowing blue eggs. But for now, let this chapter settle in your mind. A second wave of avian marvels, each one stranger and more spectacular than the last. Have you ever seen a chicken with horns? Or one that sparkles like gold foil? Which of these breeds surprised you most? Tell us in the comments. We're just as fascinated by your reactions as we are by the birds themselves. And if you're loving this journey into the unexpected beauty of the animal world, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Because here at Animal Prime, we're just getting started. What do you call a bird that can survive Arctic winds, look good doing it, and still lay eggs like a pro? You call it the Icelandic chicken, often dubbed the Viking hen. These ancient birds have roamed the rocky hills and icy farmlands of Iceland for over 1,000 years. Brought to the island by Norse settlers, they've adapted to bitter cold, volcanic soil, and months of dim sunlight. No two look alike. Some have muffs, others crests, some wear feathered feet like boots, while others stay sleek and streamlined. But they all share one thing: resilience. They don't just survive, they thrive. And in a coop full of standardized breeds, Icelandics feel like wild spirits that never got tamed. Speaking of wild-looking, meet Chabo, also known as the Japanese bantam, or the tiny peacock. These birds walk like runway models. Why? Because their legs are so short that their bodies almost touch the ground. Their tails, meanwhile, sweep straight up like a feathered crown, towering above their heads. The contrast is striking, almost comical, but also weirdly beautiful. Chubbo chickens are calm, curious, and incredibly photogenic. Their odd proportions were treasured in Japanese courtyards for centuries, and even today, they're prized not for practicality, but for pure visual charm. Tiny, but unforgettable. Ready for a shock? The naked neck, aka the chicken that forgot its scarf. At first glance, it looks like someone mixed a chicken with a turkey. That's because it has a completely featherless neck, smooth red and strangely human-looking. This breed, originally from Transylvania, is heat-tolerant, disease-resistant, and surprisingly friendly. While it might look like a genetic accident, it's actually the result of careful selection, and farmers around the world appreciate its hardy nature. Is it odd? Yes. Memorable? Absolutely. Now imagine a chicken bred like a racehorse. That's the modern game. The avian supermodel. With ultra-long legs and upright posture and tight, glossy feathers, modern game chickens look like they walked off a fashion editorial shoot. These birds were bred from traditional fighting breeds, but are now strictly ornamental. They're full of attitude and charisma. Not aggressive, but definitely self-aware. If confidence had feathers, it'd be a modern game. Watching them strut is like watching a catwalk in feathers and talons. From fashion to facial hair, meet the Faverolles, the bearded softy of France. With fluffy cheek muffs, a full beard, and 5 toes on each foot, this breed is both quirky and cuddly. Originally bred for meat and eggs in 19th century France, they quickly won hearts with their gentle disposition. Buff, salmon, and white are the most popular colors, and their round, chubby appearance only adds to their teddy bear appeal. They get along with other animals, tolerate children, and have a gentle clucking voice. They're the emotional support chickens of the flock. And now for one of the oddest proportions in poultry, the Scots Dumpy, the lowrider of the Highlands. This ancient Scottish breed has legs so short that its belly practically brushes the ground. The result? A waddling, squat appearance that's both funny and functional. These birds are incredibly stable. Predators have a hard time knocking them over, and their wide body makes them excellent brooders. Though rare today, Scots dumpies are a living piece of Celtic farming history. They might not be tall, but they stand out with presence and purpose. Let's return to elegance with the Nankin Bantam, the amber gem of the coop. Believed to be one of the oldest true Bantam breeds, Nankins shine with a rich amber gold plumage and a calm, noble air. Their history stretches back hundreds of years, with records in England from as early as the 1700s. Small in size but big in charm, Nankins are known for their gentle personalities and their ability to bring calm to otherwise chaotic flocks. They're peacemakers, garden companions, and tiny reminders that beauty often lives in quiet packages. From China comes the towering grace of the Langshan, the silken gentleman. This tall, statuesque bird walks with an upright, almost noble carriage. Its plumage, especially in the black variety, shimmers with violet and green in the sun, while its feathered legs add to its flowing silhouette. Langshans are known for both utility and elegance. They lay rich brown eggs and add poise to any flock. Watching one walk across a misty morning yard feels like watching a nobleman take a stroll through ancient gardens. Then there's the Barnevelder, the armored beauty of the Netherlands. At first glance, it looks like its feathers are made of bronze armor, layered in scalloped patterns with an iridescent sheen. This breed is hardy, dependable, and visually stunning. It lays rich chocolate brown eggs and handles cold weather with ease. But what really sets it apart is that deep, copper and black plumage that shines like beaten metal under sunlight. If medieval knights had chickens, this would be their breed. And finally, we arrive at a quiet but dazzling closer. The Ameraucana, the chicken that lays blue dreams. That's right, blue eggs, sky blue, robin's egg blue, Easter morning blue. Ameraucanas are gentle, curious birds that come in a range of feather colors, but their real magic lies in the eggs. Unlike artificially dyed, store-bought eggs, these come straight from nature. It's as if each morning they leave you a piece of the sky. So here we are, 30 breeds, 30 stories, 30 windows into the astonishing variety and wonder of a creature most people never think twice about. Chickens, not just livestock, not just backyard fillers, but living jewels, ancient bloodlines, feathered folklore. From the dragon-legged kings of Vietnam to the black-boned mystics of Indonesia, from fluffy clouds to armored knights, every breed carries a little piece of wonder. And maybe that's the takeaway. Nature never runs out of surprises, not even in your backyard. So tell us, which chicken stole your heart? Which one would you raise, photograph, or simply admire from afar? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're listening, and we love seeing which breeds connect with you most. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, because here at Animal Prime, we believe every animal has a story worth telling. And this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next wild chapter.